and welcome back to Folklore, Frights, and Sounds, coming to you right inside of Folklore Music Exchange here at 191 Summer Street in Charleston, West Virginia. We're downtown, and we are inside a guitar shop. We're talking about spooky, weird ghosts. We're talking about guitars, gear, whatever music-related stuff we can. I'm your host, Justin Puett, the owner of Folklore Music Exchange. I'm here with my sidekick, Jeremiah Hatfield.
Hello.
And today we've got a really cool guest. We got our buddy Aaron Fisher. Aaron Fisher has been at our store plenty of times, hanging out, buying gear. And also, he was at our big annual ghost story night telling some really spooky ghost stories. So we're like, Aaron, we need to get you on our podcast to tell these stories to the world. So Aaron Fisher plays in a couple bands. He's in a band called Brenna and the Boys and a Girl, which Jeremiah is in that band with him. And he also plays in Aaron Fisher and Ghost Fleet. Which is about ghost ships, I'm assuming, all their songs. And we're super excited to have him here today. So yeah, Aaron, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
But do you know where the name for the band came from? We were down south and we were at a restaurant, Ghost Fleet, and we saw the sign on the wall. And the Ghost Fleet is all of the sunk military vessels on the east coast of the United States. That's what they called.
Oh, that's cool.
That was the Ghost Fleet.
I did not know that.
And
that's
I
cool.
thought that was really cool. And my dad was in the Vietnam War, and I was like, this is kind of a cool thing. We're gonna stick that on the end of my name and see what happens.
That's very cool.
So
I love it. That's really awesome.
I always like the idea of being in a band, not being like, hey, this is me and this is my band. Like this is one thing.
So, yeah, absolutely.
The Ghost Fleet.
That's awesome, man. I love that. Yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't know. We talked a little bit before the show about how to approach this, and I've done so many things I don't know where to start.
Right. You have your hand in a lot of musical stuff, a lot of bands, recording. You have a recording studio.
I started recording music in 2001, so I wouldn't have to get a job. And that lasted for 19 years. So it worked out pretty well.
Nice.
You know, and then playing drums with Brenna and the Boys and the Girl, and Jeremiah and I were in the studio last night doing some recording.
Great.
And we're just busy. Went to sleep, got up, came back down here to see you guys. Yeah.
I love it, man. Staying busy with music is fantastic because, you know, as a musician and a local business owner of music-related gear, you know, try to stay busy with the music as much as possible because if it's something you love, you know.
You got to keep up with all the people.
Absolutely.
Make sure you know what everybody's doing.
Yeah. Now, do you teach karate? Is that a thing you do? Or?
So I study Muay Thai, and I sub in for my coach sometimes.
That's awesome.
I've been studying Muay Thai for about 8 years, and I didn't wear this shirt to, like, whatever with that. It's just what I could find.
It's a great shirt.
Laundry, and I was like, I'll put that on.
If you can't see the shirt, it's elephants, and it says Thailand, and he bought this shirt in Thailand.
From a Kashmir man from India. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Circle, it looks incredibly comfortable.
It is incredibly comfortable.
I'm very jealous. I mean, this sweatshirt's awesome too.
You can see my tattoos through the sleeves.
Oh,
nice. It's rock and roll.
Rock and roll.
Exactly. So tell me, how long have you been playing? How long have you been playing out in music?
I started playing in clubs when I was 15. That was a different era. So they let us in the back door. You know, we do our show and then we had to leave. But I really learned to play drums in church.
Oh yeah,
which is kind of a you know, back and forth there of two different worlds.
Oh, we played in church too. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's where I learned. It got me kind of turned on to the piano, and I would sit at the piano and the drums after church and just play while my parents were doing things before we left. And then I started recording music before I went to recording school. And then I learned that I needed to go to recording school. But I did see, you know, the good thing about Charleston here in West Virginia is if you have an idea or a concept for something you want to do with your life, you can pretty much do it if you work hard. There's a lot of room to get in and do things, and you can get to know everyone. It's a small town. So I just happened to be fortunate enough to get to work with a lot of great bands. And if you work with great bands and they promote, then other bands want to come and work with you as well. Yeah. And it turned out really well. And of course, I've played all the venues back in the day until now here in Charleston. We have a lot of venues to play.
Yeah.
We had one across the street. It was an all-ages venue when I was a kid, and now it's an adult venue.
Yeah.
Well, it's an all-ages restaurant and venue. Short story over there. That used to be an all-ages venue when I was a kid. And, yeah, man, I've been around here doing this for a long time. I've seen your store in how many different places, 3 locations.
This is my third spot, yeah, since I opened up.
So, yeah.
7 years ago we've been here now.
7 years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And what's cool is, we see venues pop up all the time, which is awesome. I mean, there's always those changes, but right now we've got so many places to play. It's really great to have all these support. And we had a show just recently where we had a packed house on a Friday night. And then there was also completely packed houses down the street at 2 other places having music. And then across on Capitol Street, Taylor Books had music and it was packed. And then Poomsies has shows, they're packed. So people are showing up to support music, and it's amazing to see that.
Absolutely.
I talk about it all the time, and this really, the support that Charleston has for each other and for a local business and for music and art is incredible.
It's incredible. I've been to a lot of large cities and on tour and things, and we'll go out and try to find a band to see in big cities. Right. I won't name those cities, sure. And I love all those places, and it's nearly impossible to find a live event.
Wow.
And we have 5 or 6
here it's
every
common.
Friday and Saturday here. It's very common, and throughout the week. And
we had a Monday show last week. We had a Thursday show last week. So, it can pop up anytime, which is great.
I think it's important for, younger artists to realize what they have here instead of think of the grass as being greener, somewhere else. It is a small community, but
the grass is very green here.
It's very green for gigs and recording and things of that nature. Everyone welcomes you in, lets you perform, and people come out and support it. And it's really special.
Right, absolutely. So right now, are you playing drums mainly?
I guess I've played drums for so long that as long as my physical health allows, I can kind of turn that motor off and kind of go. Sure. Guitar, not so much like that for me. It's more of a writing tool.
Yeah.
So I'll play acoustic or rhythm electric and sing when we perform.
Nice.
But drums is my favorite instrument because I guess I like to hit things.
Right, exactly. It's kind of your thing, yeah.
But the physicality and aggression, when you can burn those things off in a positive way, then
for sure.
You're winning at life.
Yes. I played drums in a band for years, and I remember that was my favorite thing, was just banging them as hard as I can and just getting out all this emotion.
Yeah.
And sometimes it was way too hard, and I'd break cymbals, and now I learned that, wow, cymbals are expensive.
Paying for them on your own now.
Exactly, yeah. So, and I switched to guitar pretty soon after I had to carry my drum kit to a show.
Oh, yeah.
Because my first drum kit was a 9-piece. I had 2 kick drums, 4 mounted toms, 2 floor toms, a bunch of cymbals. I wanted to hide because I was all shy kid. But I was in a metal band at 15, so I was like, I'm going to be the Slayer drummer, so I wanted to hide behind everything with as many drums as possible. I played 1 gig and sold off 3/4 of that kit because I was like, this is way too much to carry around.
Yeah.
I went down to 1 tom, 1 mounted tom, 1 floor tom, kick drum snare.
Did your guitar player make you get all those drums?
No,
my
at
band
the time
insisted I had 9 or 10 piece drums back in the day.
I remember I walked into a guitar shop when I was 15 years old with my dad. And my dad was the kind of guy who was like, my dad's a musician. He was like, if you buy really quality gear, it'll last forever. And I wish I'd have listened to him, because when we walked into the store, there was a really nice Pearl Masters kit. I still remember it was red sparkle and it was beautiful, but it was a 4-piece. And he was like, let's buy this kit. You'll have it forever. I was like, it's cool, but Dad, there's a black 9-piece Tama kit that fits my little metal kid, ways. I was a little goth kid. So I was like, I got to have this black 9-piece. And we bought that kit instead. And he tried to tell me, if you bought this Masters kit, you'd be playing forever. But had to have the Pearl or the Tama kit. And it was awesome.
You wouldn't have been playing it forever, though. You would have sold it in a couple years to buy guitars.
That's literally what I
did with my big drum
do all
kit.
the time. Exactly.
Sold it and bought some guitars.
Yep. But I mean, switching to guitar, my dad always told me, he was like, don't call yourself a drummer, call yourself a musician. Like, I like that. He's like, he's like, you'll be a drummer. He's like, but you're also going to be a guitar player. You're going to be a bass player. You're going to be a keyboard player. And now I play in several bands where I do all of that. And he was right. I was like, I like to play music. So that's that's where we're at there.
They're always right.
Exactly.
We just don't have the capacity to hear it.
Right. Yep. Should have listened. So tell me, what's your favorite guitar to play when you play guitar?
Oh gosh. So I have a Fender Squier Telecaster that I got, and it's been upgraded several times. The bridge has been upgraded to a Wilkinson. The pickup was out of a drawer. The guy that was working on my guitars at the time said, "Oh, I have this. I've been saving it." but I don't know for what. So he pulls it out and puts it in there. And
Nice.
so it's all kind of just thrown together. It's a cheap guitar, but it's heavy. It's made out of ash.
Yeah, dude.
And generally when I buy a guitar, I'll go to the store and I'll pick it up. If it's not heavy, I'll just put it back down.
Right.
Because I don't like active pickups. Well, I do in the studio as an engineer when people come in with them, but I like a little bit of dynamic in my playing. So I like a passive pickup and cheap guitar, heavy guitar made out of good wood, original neck. I got it out to sell it one day, and it had a big crack on the bottom, and I just hadn't had it out of the case for a while, and I was like, well, that's going to reduce the value. So I just got out a piece of sandpaper, started going to town on it, sanded the back of the neck down, did a bunch of things I wanted to do, and it turned into magic.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's
your guitar now.
Main guitar. I have a J Mascis, an older series J Mascis when they first came out, guitar that I play a lot. That's a Jazzmaster model. And it has a really nice neck on it.
Yeah, those are great.
I got a Strat from you that I keep at the house.
I remember that one. That's an awesome guitar.
So I'm loaded. I have about 13 guitars. And
nice.
I think 3 of them are playable.
Well, in a studio, you want some options too, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What year is that Telly?
Oh, gosh. I've had it for, I would say 13 years. Ooh, that's a creepy number. Yeah. And it was probably a couple years old when I bought it. So I'm not a gearhead. And as an engineer and a studio owner, everyone tries to talk to me about gear, and I just have to kind of play along because I'm really not the gearhead. I know how it works, but I can't tell you what year it is.
Right. Oh, well, it's all right. That's cool, though. Like I said, we love talking about gear, obviously. But we also love to hear ghost stories.
Ghost stories.
Yes,
I
please.
have some of those.
Enlighten me on some creepy stuff that you have experienced.
So I have a lot of ghost stories, and I'm going to kind of start and tell you a little piece of one, and then you guys can chime in, and we'll continue and see how we can build this thing.
Cool.
So I had this buddy when I was in high school, and we were the best of friends, and we spent a lot of time together, and I would stay over at his house quite frequently. And this house was it was a special house. I'll lead with the close, which is the chimney still smokes in the winter, although it's closed off. It's a gas chimney now, but you can drive by there in the winter and smoke will be rolling out of that chimney. A lot of times we talk about these things and we have to kind of remind ourselves that these things are really happening.
Yeah.
So the first instance I'll give you of being in this home is something that really happened, and then I'll write back around to how that matters. So I'm laying on the couch downstairs, and I have the covers over my head, and it's always creepy vibes in this house. There's never a dull moment, right? So I'm laying there getting ready to go to sleep or whatever, and all of a sudden, so there's a door to the right, and then there's an entry to the left that goes into the dining area. The door to the right slams shut. The blanket sucks down over me and I can't breathe. And I'm just laying there. I can't breathe. And my arms are like this. And I'm like, what is going on? So I'm like, I got to get out of here. So the door's shut over here. And the other way leads to where I feel the presence coming from. So I'm like, well, I'm not going that way. So I just stay under the blanket, like cannot move, catatonic, just there, like trying to decide what to do. And I was terrified, did not want to bring the covers off my head to see what was in the room. So I just start praying. And I don't know if you've ever experienced a moment of sheer terror and loss of control before, but I literally just laid there with my eyes closed and prayed until I fell asleep.
Wow.
And so I woke up the next day and I told my buddy's mom about what had happened. And she said, oh yeah, that's happened to me 2 or 3 times. So I'm in the shower last night thinking about coming here today to do this. And I start thinking about that. And it's like you've heard that before, a haunting story or whatever. And I'm standing in the shower and I have my eyes closed and I'm thinking about coming in here today. And I'm like, I start to feel this thing creep up on me again. I think that's what we forget about these like small instances of terror is like with the ghost stuff, it's very real. And I don't know what it is. But it will creep back into you if you let it. You don't have to be at the location that it happened So I start thinking, and I'm afraid to like turn around. So then again, I'm just standing there in the shower with my eyes closed, afraid to turn around last night, and look to see if there's anything behind me. But that really happened. And sometimes I have to remind myself that really happened.
Mhm.
Like I was stuck under a blanket, doors slammed, and I was totally out of control.
Right.
So on the more comical side, a couple weeks after that, we were there, and everyone had woke up in the morning and getting ready to have breakfast or whatever, and they go to the drawer to get some silverware out, and the whole, you have the trays to put your silverware in.
Yes.
The whole tray is gone. So everyone's like, there's no silverware.
Mm-hmm.
And so this goes on for like a day and a half, and someone is obviously playing a joke, right? So it starts to get to the point where tensions rise, and it's like, okay, who took the silverware? Why are you playing this trick? It's not funny anymore, so on and so forth. And so later that day, my buddy's dad goes down into the basement. So he opens the door and he starts walking down the stairs into the basement. And the silverware tray, still full of silverware, is balanced on one of the steps diagonally.
Weird.
Just rocking back and forth. I mean, I'm getting chills.
That's
you
crazy.
listen to this stuff and you hear this stuff and it's like, that's one thing. But when you have the experience and you remind yourself that the experience was real,
right,
it's like, wow. So the silverware is just there balancing on the step.
How's that even possible?
And they're like, okay. So they get the silverware, and take it back up and put it in the drawer. And everything's cool because this stuff's happening all the time here. So it wasn't like anyone lost time over it, but it was a very creepy thing, And so finally things go on and they go on, and we're upstairs and we're hanging out and we're getting ready to go to bed another night. And we're like, well, let's see if we can induce some horror. How we do. So we're just laying there. And so we're laying there like waiting for something to happen. And my buddy always talked about this kid that lived in the closet. And I never saw the kid.
That's not creepy at all.
He swore that he saw this kid, but I never saw the kid. But the door did lock from the outside. And a lot of mornings we would wake up and the door would be open somehow.
And it was locked before?
It was locked from the outside. So something in there was able to bypass the humanity of that locking mechanism on the outside of the door and exit and enter that space during the night when we were sleeping.
That is very creepy.
And after a while, it just becomes this thing where you're just kind of like, okay, this is happening. I haven't got physically hurt yet, so I'm just going to roll with this. So we're laying there in bed, and he's telling me about this kid, and the fan comes on. And I'm like, okay, no big deal. Then the radio comes on, and I'm like,
a little bit more of
not
a big
deal compared to like what we're used to experiencing in the home. Then we check to see that neither of those two items were plugged into the wall. And then
That's
I was
different,
like, I think I need to go home.
Yeah. Wow. So the radio and the fan were working without being plugged in.
They weren't plugged in at all.
That is
And so
crazy.
the radio, you could say, well, maybe it picked up some type of frequency like an amp or something.
Nope, still shouldn't come on.
Not if it's plugged in. If it's not plugged in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You can't. But these things happened all the time there. So eventually they come to terms with the fact that they have a real problem.
Poltergeist.
Yeah. And so they hire our buddy, and I won't use names. This guy, he was an old preacher guy, and he was what they used to call country boy strong, like farm boy strong kind of guy. So like this guy, we would all wrestle and carry on when we were younger, and you get like 5 or 6 people on this guy, and he just like hulks out of the whole thing.
Nice.
So he comes over to exorcise the home, and he comes in, and the way that he put it was, as you walk through the house, you could feel like your body would kind of be slow motion. Like the air was so thick that you had to it was like you were underwater. You would have to force your limbs and your movements to even just move through the house, because it would like subdue your natural ability to move. And it would just feel like you were pushing against something or walking against something all the time. I
felt that heavy, like it's a heavy presence.
Yeah, it's very heavy presence.
There and like,
yeah, it's almost like the fog and things you have on stage and whatnot, but it's not there.
Yeah, like you can't see it, but you can feel it.
Feel the physicality of it.
Oh yeah.
So Preacher man comes in and performs an entire exorcism on the home, and I must say it didn't work. Because
So was it kind of like the, you see the movies like going around room to room and like praying?
Yeah, just like walking through and doing different things. And, I don't subscribe to understand like how an exorcism works. I've seen The Exorcist, which is a very creepy movie.
Absolutely.
But he came in and he did the whole 9, and I guess maybe it dissipated, but then we kind of decided that after that had occurred that it dissipated to a certain degree, but then it kind of came back.
Sometimes it comes back even worse. Yeah, like it's almost like you anger the spirits there more than anything.
So, these things just continued to happen. I don't think there was a day or a night that I spent in that house that something crazy did not occur.
And you kept going back.
I kept going back.
Well, sure.
Now, one time I had to go over there by myself and load out my 9-piece drum kit. That's funny. We were talking about that earlier. So I'm going up and down stairs. And every time I go up, the air gets thicker. I start hearing noises in the basement. So I had to like force myself. I had a gig, so I had to force myself to like go through the process of getting all these drums. And honestly, that was one of the last times that I went over there. I got to the point with it where I was like, it's like an addiction or something that's haunting you in your life. And you're like, man, I just can't be around this energy anymore. And I don't want to have any more of these experiences. But man, it was a mess. It was a mess of a place.
So to this day, nothing's ever changed. It's probably still pretty crazy.
Yeah, I haven't been there in years. Occasionally I'll drive by and I'll look for the chimney to be smoking.
Right.
Which I know I led with that, but that's, and people say, well, maybe there's some air, but I mean, this
people
is
still
like
live there,
full-blown smoke.
Now?
Yeah, I believe his mother still lives there. I could be mistaken about that, but I still look for that chimney smoking in the winter. You can still drive by and see that chimney smoking in the wintertime, and it's just like if you didn't know anything about the house, you wouldn't think anything of that, right? But like knowing that there is no fireplace in that house and seeing that chimney roll it's a crazy experience.
Right?
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Is that local? Like it's somewhere around here?
It's about 10 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you think about it, there's probably so many haunted places around here that's close that we don't even realize.
Oh, absolutely.
Building probably is.
I've tried. There's nothing. I've checked. There's nothing here, but there might be. But
what do you guys think about? So here's something that I've always found interesting. After having my mom owned a daycare center, was also haunted. This is a good story. So OJ from Byzantine, the heavy metal band Byzantine, they used to come and record their records at the studio is located inside of the daycare center in an old school building. And that's haunted. And there's a graveyard next door.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, a lot going on there. And he would go down the hall, and there are rooms in the back where there are rocking chairs, where the nurseries were and whatnot. And the lights would come on one side and go out on the other side. Then they would go out on the other side and come on the other side. Okay. And the chairs would move and things of that nature. And I'm experienced at this point because I grew up at my buddy's house, so I'm like there by myself all the time. But he would not go to the bathroom by himself. Big bearded guy, tough guy, a tough man up in Morgantown. And he's like, man, he would go outside and use the bathroom behind the tree at our sessions or have me walk him down to the bathroom.
That's funny. Well, squaring up against a ghost is different, I guess.
It's different than squaring up against a person. One time I was in there and I was in the bathroom doing my business, and I heard this man and a little girl come in the building. And that was normal for me because it was a daycare. It was after hours, but I was like, maybe the door's unlocked. And maybe they forgot something. So I jump up because I had the door cracked open. I didn't have the door closed. I jumped up and finished my business there and ran out into the hallway, and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, all right, back to work. And then another night I had to call my cousin to come out. I came running out of the building that night. It did kind of get to me, and I was like, come in here and see if you can hear this.
What'd you hear?
He was like, no. Voices, kids' voices.
Wow.
And that's about the worst thing that you could hear. I was going
to ask if it was like, because you're talking about your buddy who's a big burly guy, but the thing is like creepy.
If you hear a kid,
ghost kids will ghost kids will do it to anybody.
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Oh yeah,
I'm done when it comes to kids.
Especially if you hear them like laughing.
Yeah.
or crying, either one.
And I could just imagine walking down that hallway in the dark towards the bathroom, but you're walking by these old classrooms and just looking in. And I could just imagine seeing some like pale-faced little girl just staring at you through the door.
I opened a locker in the hallway one day early on when my parents first got the building, and there were 2 baby doll heads on a string tied together hanging over the coat portion of the clip there where you hang your coat. And I was like, nope.
This was in a locker that used to be a school and is now a daycare?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's the story behind that?
I've had enough.
Right? Yeah, that's
some things are better left unanswered.
Absolutely. That is super creepy, dude.
It's interesting though to like be in those spaces and become accustomed to being in the atmosphere versus being in a space. Like now I can walk into a room and I can tell you instantly whether or not it's haunted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can be in other places where there's no presence of anything, and it's a really clean feeling. But I
get that. Yeah.
I just don't know that we have the capacity to exercise something that occupied a space previous to us in terms of like ownership and reality and all of those things. Like, I don't know that you're getting rid of any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. There's just like residual haunting that
yes.
Yeah, they say it could be just like almost like a replay of their life, that they're just kind of stuck in a loop.
Yeah.
I've heard that before, so there's all kinds of things it could be
but that also doesn't explain the poltergeist kind of stuff.
Now, poltergeist,
they're like messing with things.
That gets different, yes. When you got silverware diagonally, like
that was a funny one. I always tell that story because it was, it kind of gives some insight into that happened.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not a liar. I'm sitting here telling you guys are some of my best friends.
Yeah, we're going to fact check everything you said.
So, like when you put it in terms of like, oh, it's scary, it's funny, but then you're like, oh, that really happened.
Right.
Oh, that really happened, and you kind of push it to the back of your brain, just kind of waiting on the next time something like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's kind of like everything else. Once they ramp all these things up to such a certain level, it becomes false. And it becomes mainstream, and there's so much surrounding it. But it is kind of interesting to me that as human beings, we haven't managed to. Now, maybe there's people out there that have tap into or cross over to understanding like what is actually happening in some of these situations. We're still kind of like black and white filming in asylums and stuff on TV. And I know there are people out there that, there are Ghostbusters out there that probably take this stuff a lot more seriously.
Absolutely.
But I would say it's not publicized to the degree that what we see is probably mostly for ratings as opposed to reality.
Right, sure. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those, there's a lot of times you'll see like there's a ball rolling down.
Yeah.
Did anybody roll the ball
or
for
the sound
camera?
stuff?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then, if you have a recording studio and you hear something in the background, in the background
you'll pick
of the
up
sound,
everything,
Oh, that's just something down the street, maybe a mile on a good condenser mic. You're going to be able to hear all of those types of things.
Oh, absolutely,
I don't really give much leverage to those types of things.
Like sirens on the back of an acoustic
sirens
track.
on the back of our track last night. Yeah, we got some of that.
Nice. That could be
but
fun,
it kind of fit actually a little bit.
I was going to say,
pretty
that could
well.
be nice. Yeah, exactly.
And it was a background acoustic track. So
cool.
It'll be our own little Easter egg.
Easter eggs.
Love it. Exactly. Oh, that's super cool, dude. But I do believe, there's probably a lot of stuff that the camera don't pick up that's there.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? There's probably a lot of stuff that's like actually happening that we can't. I mean, a lot of people say, if you'll see stuff happen, then as soon as you turn a camera on, silence.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. It's like it's like they know they're being recorded and they're like, nope, I don't want to be on camera.
I used to want to know everything and want to figure everything out and understand everything. And, the older I get, I'm kind of like, I'm never going to understand. I'm never going to know what's happening here. I'm never going to completely understand it. So I guess it's, sometimes I would just be walking down the hall saying, hope you guys are having a good day, or, you know what I mean? Whatever's there,
might as well
trying
treat
to be
them
friendly.
Exactly. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
If you give off a good energy, I feel like you're going to get good energy back. You know what I mean? Like I've always felt that way. I mean, that's why, I live my life with positivity as much as possible because I want to get that back. And that includes if there's like a spirit in a
In
place.
the room,
I'm
you
like,
want to be on good terms with the
yes, I want
spirit.
my ghost's
Yeah.
glass to be half full as well. Like, this afterlife ain't that bad. It could be worse.
Have you have you had any experience in the building where your studio's at now?
Oh, yeah, I heard a scream one night. And then I went to explore the basement a little later.
I didn't know
It's
there was
locked
a basement.
generally. There is a basement.
Is that the door like as soon as you walk in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So the funny thing is, I was like, I'm gonna go down there and see what's down there.
Sure.
And dude came to close the door while I was down there. I almost got locked in
Oh
there.
my God.
And luckily, I came back up and out right before he came to lock the door. And man, that would have been terrible.
Terrible.
What's it like down there?
Dark.
Basements are,
Yes.
usually pretty
Dingy.
creepy.
Oh, yeah.
It's smaller than you would think.
Mhm.
And there's just some weird stuff down there,
Sure.
man. And maybe it's in one of those items. Maybe it's in the building. Maybe it's in the,
We have a full basement here, and we use it for storage. And I've got, my Christmas trees, my ghosts from Halloween. I've got my guitar boxes. It's not bad, but it's, it's got that vibe of being a basement. However, Frida will not go in the basement.
She won't go
She
down
does
there?
not like it down there. Which is, I think she knows, dogs sense something.
You
So
don't
every
think
time, like when I go down there to do stuff, I'll try to take her with me just because she likes to be around me. And she'll come down and she immediately runs up and then she'll sit at the top of the stairs until I come back.
Okay,
does not
so
wanna
it's
be down.
not doesn't want to go down the steps. Like she'll
She
go
will
down
go
and she's
down
like,
there,
nope, I'm back
But
up.
as soon as she gets down there, she's uneasy.
Oh.
and she's back out.
And she's not an uneasy dog ever. Like that's just, she's chill. But when she gets down there, she does not like the basement.
Do you think that ghosts move from the primary living quarter to those spaces when humans move in to get away from us?
That makes a lot of sense.
Because you think about like the basement and the attic thing. That's in
Oh,
every
yeah.
horror
Yeah,
movie
exactly.
you've ever seen. It's like, well, why are they hanging out up there? if
And where'd
this
they
is
get
their
those
place?
chains? I didn't have chains in the attic.
It could be something too, because you also got to think those are also storage spaces.
Yeah.
So even if the people don't have their things there anymore, it could have been that was the biggest collection of where their possessions were in the attic or in the basement. And so now that they're left over, they're left where the biggest like concentration of what they owned was, or like what they were connected to.
It's like when the oil leaks in your driveway out of your car. You get the ghost leaks all over the attic.
Yeah,
That's ectoplasm. There's ectoplasm all over my treasure chest up here.
Did I ever tell you what happened in that building?
Mm-mm.
So I was practicing with for a project that didn't get off the ground, but we were jamming, a few of us in a room down the hall from the studio space, and you weren't there. Luke wasn't there. It was just me and the other three guys that were jamming, and we're in the room. The door to the hall is shut. And then as we're sitting there and we're in the middle of a song, the door opens. Like it was latched.
Mhm.
It opens up into the hallway. And I thought you had shown up and was coming down to hang out and open the door and just be like, hey guys, what's up? But the door opened and no one ever walked in. And so we go look, and the main door to the hallway that stays locked was shut. Like Luke wasn't there, Aaron wasn't there, like nobody was close by. And I tried to make sure that it wasn't like there was a storm going on at the time.
Of course.
But the room we were in was separated by another room from the outside. So there were no windows, there were no direct
No breezeway.
drafts,
Yeah.
from the outside. So
You said the door was latched?
Yes.
So like you had to turn the knob.
yes. So the door to the hallway was closed. We're in this room, and then there's another room beside it where a window would be.
Mhm.
But it's a separate room.
Sure.
So the room we were in wasn't connected at all to the outside. So it wasn't like a huge draft
Right.
like blew through the window and opened the door or something.
So somebody had to physically turn the knob and open the door.
Yeah.
Did it creak like all the...
Yeah, it opens.
creepy-
It did
creepy
opens
noises?
kind of slowly.
Uh-huh.
That's why I thought, like, because we just kind of saw it open, and I'm just not playing. I'm like, okay, somebody's walking in. I look up, and it's still kind of open, and then it just sits there. And my buddy Phil's sitting there, and he's just looking out the hall, and there's just nobody there. Like nobody was there for like another hour or something like that.
Sounds like
I
a
can't
ghost
wait
to
to
me.
go over there tonight now.
Yeah.
Be
Right?
by myself.
Now that you're all psyched up for ghosts, let's go spend
Yeah.
a night alone in a recording studio that might be haunted.
Hey, there's that's something we could do. There's a Halloween special.
Yeah, Halloween special at the studio.
Yeah.
We're gonna start doing on locations at haunted places.
Yeah.
Recording studios, you name it, we're going to go.
I think ghosts are like people. I mean, if they are ghosts of people, then I doubt their demeanor changes upon death. And you were talking earlier about, I do try to be positive around that type of energy, but what do you do if it's super negative and it just doesn't go anywhere?
I mean, there are.
Yeah,
I mean, there definitely got to be some bad juju around people that have died who are bad people.
Yes.
You know, I believe that.
Yeah. So
That's why you hear a lot of like weird stories about like prisons and stuff, you know, being really like bad haunted.
haunted bad.
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe it's a message to us that we need to get our act together.
Right? Try to die a good person, people.
While we're alive. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's but you know, being alone and being in situations like that, I can think of countless situations that I've been in where I felt a sense of haunting, and it's one of those things where it's like being on an airplane. You can't
escape
get
it.
off.
Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So there's really it's a true like situation in which you have to face the potential that you don't understand. And
Imagine
you
a haunted
no,
airplane.
No, let's not do that.
I wonder, has that ever been a movie, a haunted airplane?
Haunted airplane. There's been airplanes,
There's
snakes on a plane.
Um,
That sounds pretty terrifying.
I mean,
Ghosts
that's
on a
terrifying.
plane.
As long as they
Ghosts
don't
on a
do
plane? I would watch that.
no spiders on a plane. I'm out on that one.
You don't like spiders?
No, I don't like spiders.
It's
Same.
weird. As much as many things as I'm afraid of in this world,
Not spiders.
spiders do not bother me.
Huh.
I can let one crawl on my skin and be okay.
Snakes don't bother me.
Snakes bother me.
Spiders.
I don't like snakes.
Done.
I can't do a mouse. If I find out there's a mouse in this building, I will move out.
It's true.
I don't like it.
That's funny how we react to certain things
Yeah.
certain ways.
Yeah.
Things that don't pose any threat at all.
Right. Now, spiders could kill you, however.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But
they can.
I get it. Yeah.
Mice carry disease.
Mice carry
Yeah.
disease. Exactly.
It's
Snakes
terrifying.
can kill you. Yeah. There's those are legitimate
They're
fears. I
real
believe.
fears. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So okay, tell us your favorite scary movie.
All right. So I was sitting here thinking earlier, there's a movie called Cat People.
I think I know that movie.
Paul Snyder, I think, produced it.
Okay.
I think I got that name right.
Is this 80s or 90s?
I saw it when I was barely allowed to go to the sleepovers, and I still had to get picked up before everyone else went to sleep because of horror movies.
Sure.
Yeah, I was. My parents always tried to protect me against knowing too much too soon, and I remember we would go to my buddy's trailer and we would lay in the floor. We'd all bring our sleeping bags and lay in the floor
Those were good times.
and watch movies. And his parents were a little more liberal than mine, so Cat People's kind of a racy movie to be watching that when you're a kid. I don't know if I should be talking, but yeah, it's basically you get bit and then you turn into a panther.
Yeah.
So these people are transforming into panthers
Wow.
and eating each
I
other.
need to watch this.
And they're naked all the time.
This
and
is not the movie I was
this
thinking of.
too
Okay.
much for me
Right.
when I was a kid.
Sure.
You know, I was like, what's going on? I saw a lot of things I'd never seen before.
Right.
And all at once.
I hope
and then
this
my
doesn't
parents
unlock
came,
anything inside of me.
and my parents came pick me up, and I went home and slept in my own bed, terrified.
Right.
We watched Freddy movies and things like
Yeah.
that. But Cat People's terrifying. I think whenever you can take something normal and morph it into something else that's normal, it's the morphing process.
Right.
That's the creepy part, when the people would turn into the cat.
Did you have a cat at home growing up?
We had outside cats.
Okay.
Yeah, but I wasn't scared of them.
Okay, I was going to ask where I was going. Not anymore. We don't have outside
fear of
cats.
cats.
Get out of here.
I mentioned The Exorcist earlier. I think things were a lot scarier when people had to build the costumes and design the transformations.
Yeah, the original Exorcist movie is very scary.
Yeah. I mean, I can only imagine like being the character in the movie and then watching the movie and like there's
A lot of
just
times
this.
they had to have like therapy
I
afterwards,
was
like
gonna
the
say,
actors.
yeah, it would have to be very traumatizing.
Absolutely.
And those movies were shot in like 1, 2 locations,
Hmm.
and that
Yeah.
was the whole film. You get like an hour and a half of this possessed girl's bedroom and
Right.
maybe like a room at the church, and
Hmm.
that's all you're seeing in the
Exactly.
movie, and it's
But the
but it
makeup, I'll never forget, like, as you see her gradually become more and more possessed, they did such a good job of showing that
the
happen in her
progression,
face.
yeah,
And her acting, oh my God, Linda Blair killed it.
killed it.
It was crazy. And she was young. And do you guys remember the scene where she's like thrashing on the bed? Like they like
Hmm.
Oh
hurt her
yeah.
back really bad. Remember she had to like have like, I think she had to have
Oh,
some
she
like
really
physical
did hurt
therapy because
herself.
of her back. Yeah, but that was, man,
Just
insane.
way better in my opinion than what we have now in horror
Right.
movies.
Hmm.
You had the story, but then you had the human creation of
Yeah,
what that would look like, and now we can
absolutely.
kind of digitalize things, and it's not as scary,
It's not as
right?
scary.
It's
No.
not as fun
Yeah.
either.
I agree.
Yeah,
Yep. I am a little excited for this new Exorcist movie coming out. Have you guys
okay.
heard about that?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming.
It's Mike Flanagan who did all
Oh,
those
that's
really good
right.
horror shows on Netflix,
Okay.
House on Haunted Hill and those
Yeah.
shows. He's doing it. Scarlett Johansson is in it,
Okay.
and she's killing it right now. So I'm pretty excited
Yeah.
about that. But apparently, it's going to be I think it's a retelling almost of the original.
Okay.
Is it a movie or a
It's a
series?
movie, from what I've heard, and I'm pretty excited
Interesting.
about that. I think that has potential. I mean,
Potential, yeah.
we'll see, but that could be good.
I mean, these stories, sometimes a story it'll be on repeat until it's buried in the ground, but then sometimes it's good enough to carry us through the
I
generations.
mean, there are a million exorcist movies, exorcism stories out there. Some of them are great, some of them are terrible, but I've watched a lot of
Yeah.
them, and they are. I think some of them are like super realistic too. I don't know. I don't really dive that deep into that side of it, but I'm like, man, like there's a lot of like real accounts of exorcisms actually happening like that.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's terrifying to me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is terrifying.
right.
I mean, we've been walking around with this stuff for probably all of humanity's
Absolutely, yeah.
existence, and we still really,
Hmm.
I say there are probably people out there that have, like, we've spent our whole life on music, that have spent their whole life on this. They probably know the truth.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It just doesn't translate to the real world. But I mean, the experiences I've had are real.
Hmm.
Anybody that doesn't
Oh, same here,
doesn't
man.
believe
Yeah,
it, yeah,
I've seen a lot of stuff, and that's why I'm like kind of used to it in a way. You know what I mean?
you
Like,
get used to it after a while, and they kind of just get buried, like I
yeah,
said, and then when they come back up, the feeling comes back.
right.
It's like a memory that had some tangible quality that you want to keep, but at the same time, I guess maybe that's a self-defense mechanism.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice. Man, we've had a lot of good talks today. I feel really good about this show.
Yeah.
It got creepy.
Got a
And
little
I'm
creepy.
very happy about creepy. Yes, that's really good. So yeah, how about you hop on stage, play a song for us?
Can do.
All right, let's do it.
This song's called Matters of the Heart. It's about the scariest thing of all, love. I've never been too much on staying. Leaving's not quite as hard. Into a bag I pack my feelings. Yeah, I drove by late last night and dropped them in your yard. I didn't figure they would get me very far. I am no good at these matters of the heart. These matters of the heart. Ooh, ooh. Lately all this silence has been killing me. Ghosts make my coffee and turn on my TV. They whisper things to me I do not want to hear. It just reverberates, the message is not clear. I should have known from the start. I am no good at these matters of the heart. These matters of the heart.
All right, thank you guys again for tuning in to Folklore, Frights, and Sounds with me, Justin Puett, Jeremiah Hatfield, and Frida, the shop dog. We had Aaron Fisher of Brenna and the Boys and a Girl, and Aaron Fisher and Ghost Fleet, and Aaron Fisher, the karate teacher, and Aaron Fisher,
Muay
the
Thai.
recording engineer. Nice.
Yeah.
And we're super excited to have him on the show. He's a good buddy of ours. And make sure you go check out all of his bands. You can find them on Spotify. You can find them on YouTube, Apple Music, all the stuff. Check out all of his things going on. Go see him live if you get a chance. I'm sure we'll have him back here on the stage really soon. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, we'll see you soon.